It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
I want to play a game.
Hello and welcome to the Sounds from the Grave podcast. My name is Yussef, and today we have another solo episode. This one is going to be a little bit different. Depending on how this does, this might be the first episode in a series that is going to be focusing on the week in horror. In other words, I'm going to be bringing you all of the major news and all the major headlines regarding the big updates in the horror world, whether that is films, TV shows, books, comics, games, whatever. If it's horror related, I'm probably going to be talking about it on this show. So we're going to be talking about everything that's been happening since this last Monday, which was Monday the 12th of July, and I'm going to be going through everything that happened on Monday, everything that happened on Tuesday and Wednesday, so on and so forth. And I hope you guys really do enjoy this, because I do like this. I like that it also helps me keep up with what's going on in the horror community. But without further ado, let's get going on this thing. First headline that I have on here is that Chad Michael Murray from House of Wax is actually going to be showing up in a Ted Bundy movie that is coming out in August. He will be playing Ted Bundy on this. The movie is set to be called Ted Bundy American Boogeyman, and is set to release in a couple of US theaters on August 16th through Fathom Events. I mean, it's the same company that brings us a bunch of the Turner Classic Movies commercials that we see when we go to the movies, and a lot of those random opera and ballet videos that show up. I don't know why they keep doing those. I don't know who watches those. But anyway, that's just me. The next piece of news that we have here, if you are a fan of breakfast cereals and you like the Addams Family, this is going to be really cool because Addams Family 2, as part of its promotional stuff, Kellogg's announced that they're going to be releasing Addams Family themed breakfast cereals and snacks as well. They are set to come around, probably they might already be released by the time this comes out, because it says that it's just coming out in July. But they are Addams Family 2 inspired cereals and snacks, and they do have in-pack giveaways of the first Addams Family movie. So keep an eye out for those during your shopping sprees at the supermarket, because it's very reminiscent of, the Count Chocula, the Boo Berry, that kind of stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. I don't know, I'm not a huge cereal person, but I'll give them a try. So who knows, I might like them. But anyway, now we are moving to some video game horror news, and specifically about the upcoming Evil Dead game. Because this game got announced last month, and I got a bunch of people really excited, myself included. The only thing is that they didn't really give out a release date for this, so we don't really have any idea as to when this is supposed to be releasing. But we might have a little bit more information from the groovy man himself, Bruce Campbell, because during a recent Q&A session at the Finger Lakes Drive-In in Auburn, that was promoting the 40th anniversary of Evil Dead, Bruce Campbell announced that the game has a target date scheduled for February of 2022, and he said that the reasoning behind this is because the developers of the game, Saber Interactive, they wanted to do this one upgrade that, and I quote, wanted to make the game as bitchin' as any other game out there. Which by the way, I love this quote. I'm very excited for this game. I honestly can't wait for this to come out. I'm a huge fan of the Evil Dead franchise. I saw the trailer for the game and I was like, man, you really need to get this. I hope that some of my friends are able to get it as well, because I would really love to sit down and kill some Deadites with some friends. Because that is the horror stuff that brings us together, killing Deadites. But moving on to some more Evil Dead news, this time we're going to be talking about Evil Dead Rise, the upcoming film that's coming out pretty soon to HBO Max. In another interview about something else that couldn't find out where, one of the other things that Bruce Campbell said is that the movie is going to be very book-centric. It's going to be all about the Necronomicon and where does this book wind up and what happens to it over the millennia. And another little bit about the movie is that in this case, it is going to be set in the city. It's no longer going to be the cabin in the woods. And it's also going to be a lot more female oriented. It's going to be unsuspecting heroines who are going to save the day. The movie right now is still filming in New Zealand, and Rob Tapert is still going to be the producer on that. So that's going to be pretty cool. I can't wait for that. Again, I'm a huge fan of the Evil Dead franchise. I have seen all the movies way too many times at this point. So, and of course, I've seen Ash versus Evil Dead. So we'll see what happens with this one. So I'm excited for that. Now, these are the news that have been rocking the horror community all throughout this week. First one of these being that Rob Zombie has been going ballistic on Instagram, just posting picture after picture of behind the scenes stuff regarding the Munsters movie. And the first big one that he dropped was a blueprint of Mockingbird Lane from the Munsters. And what's really cool is that this is extremely accurate. It's like a really almost to the last brick, like a really good recreation of the original house from the 64 show. And that honestly gets me really excited because I know that Rob Zombie has a specific like aesthetic and style that he does, but it looks like he might be going a little more traditional on this, going more to the roots of what the Munsters are instead of kind of doing his own thing. But at the same time, I'm interested to see if he's going to be switching it up, doing something new with the franchise, and maybe putting his own little twist on that. The next one we have here is for all you Good Guys fans. It was recently announced that during the Comic-Con at Home event on July 25th, we will be getting a trailer for the upcoming Chucky series, which is going to be really, really cool. It is set to, the show itself is set to follow in the footsteps of the last two films in the main canon, not talking about the Child's Play remake. We're talking about Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky, and it will feature a lot of the same characters that were in those films. So that's going to be really exciting to talk about. The other news that we have on here is regarding the upcoming revival of Showtime's Dexter. We did learn that Jennifer Carpenter will be back in the show. In the show, she did play, or actually, you might know Jennifer Carpenter if you're a horror fan from The Exorcism of Emily Rose. However, in Dexter, she played Dexter's sister, Deborah, and she's going to be coming back to the revival. The revival is going to be 10 episodes and is set to arrive in fall of this year, 2021. So that's going to be exciting if you're a Dexter fan. I personally haven't seen the show, so I can not super excited for it because I just don't have the time to sit down and watch Dexter all the way through right now. I just don't. There's too much going on in my life. I'm trying to watch Haunting of Hill House because HHN is making me watch Haunting of Hill House again. Not that I'm complaining. So, but anyway, moving on to our next piece of news here. For those fans of The Conjuring, we've learned that Warner Brothers will be releasing a 3-disc or 3-movie Blu-ray box set that contains The Conjuring, The Conjuring 2, and The Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It. It is set to release on August 24th, and you can actually pre-order that. It is set to be $44.97. I think that's a very cool idea. I actually don't have any of the Conjuring movies on Blu-ray, so this is the perfect opportunity for people like me that don't have the collection at all and be able to get all 3 movies at once. So keep your eyes out for that. Again, it releases August 24th. Now going back the next day after this, Rob Zombie went ballistic again, and this time he posted wardrobe design concepts for Lily and Herman Munster. And again, he shared their nighttime looks, teasing like some of the sleepwear, like their pajamas and stuff. And these pictures are very, very cool. You can definitely see those on Instagram. So Lily has kind of a tattered spiderweb print dress, and Herman is wearing black and white pajamas that have little skulls on them. So again, this is very reminiscent of the classic series. It's very close to the original design of those characters. So we definitely get some more information there, more evidence that it's going to be very, very true to the original design of the series. Going back now to Evil Dead, the director of Evil Dead Rise, Lee Cronin, has updated that the movie is already halfway complete, which is pretty freaking crazy, I think. He said in a recent tweet, 6 weeks, 100 rolls, 597 slates. We are halfway. So, I mean, that's halfway through shooting. We still have the other half of the shooting to go through. And then we also have post-production stuff. So, it might be a little while before we do actually get Evil Dead Rise. But keep your eyes out on that, just so you know they are halfway through production right now. So that's a great sign. Can't wait for the next part. Next bit of news actually has me extremely excited, so much so that I left a reminder on my phone to check on this when they release, but Reebok is heading to Jurassic Park. They have announced a Reebok and Jurassic Park collection that has footwear and apparel, and if you I'm gonna try and post the article on this, or I'm gonna try and post the pictures of these shoes because they are fucking beautiful. Like, all of those shoes are going to pay homage to key characters, going to pay homage to props from the original film, like just the first Jurassic. And they're going to be really, really cool. And the collection is set to drop on July 30th. You can see they're going to be releasing on the Reebok website. Just go ahead and on there and type in Jurassic Park and they'll pop right up. But yeah, keep your eyes out for those. I'm definitely going to be getting a pair. I'm going to be getting the pair that looks like the Land Cruiser tour vehicle, because I think that is just like such a funky, crazy looking color, and I'm all for funky, crazy looking colors on shoes. So I'm all for that. I'm definitely going to be getting a pair of those if I get the chance to. But now moving on to some spooky Halloween decorations. Spirit Halloween previews some new products, and they include now some new animatronics, and they're going to be releasing a brand new Ghostface animatronic, a brand new Beetlejuice animatronic, and probably the one that's the most exciting, they're going to be also releasing a 5-foot tall animatronic of Shorty from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So if you're a Killer Clowns fan and you love to deck your entire property in Halloween spookiness, then you would definitely be wise to pick up a Shorty animatronic, because that will be a really cool addition to any collection. Again, Rob Zombie, this man is driving me crazy because he keeps posting stuff on Instagram. This time he teased Grandpa Munster's new look with a behind the scenes shot. This time what we got was a sneak peek at the wig, which belongs to Grandpa Munster. In the original series, it was played by Al Lewis. And again, because of the way he's releasing these, it definitely looks like he's going to be staying true to the source material. As of right now, though, we have no idea who is going to be playing Grandpa Munster. Again, as more details emerge, we'll keep you posted on that. Next bit of news that we have here. New Line Cinema, the house that Freddy built, is going to be developing a female-driven home invasion thriller that goes by the name of Prowl. And the Hollywood Reporter noted that the project is being described as a genre-bending female-driven home invasion thriller set over the course of one evening, which is very exciting. I like that type of movie. The it all happened on one night type movies. Kind of like I can't think of any at the moment actually. Yeah, like Halloween. It is a movie that takes course over just the one night. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting. I do like it's going to be female driven. I'm interested to see what they're going to do, considering they're advertising this thing as a whole genre bending thing. So I'm curious to see how they're going to execute that. But moving on, we have some more horror decoration news. For those of you that remember last year, Home Depot had released a 12-foot tall skeleton. That was an absolute massive monster of a creature. And it was a cult favorite. Real talk, I actually do work for Home Depot, and I remember seeing this and just being like, I need this. I don't know what I'm going to do with a 12-foot skeleton, but I need this. So he is going to be coming back for Halloween of this year. And as well, he's going to grab a little friend this year. We're also going to be getting a 12-foot Inferno pumpkin. And this thing looks so friggin' cool. Like, it looks like Pumpkinhead and the Tarman had a baby, and this is what happened. Right now, actually available right now. The 12-foot skeleton is going to be $2.99, while the Inferno pumpkin is supposed to be $3.49. So they are going to be pretty steep. But if you have the money and you are interested in purchasing those, you can get them now. They are already available. We have this one was really cool news as well. We got some new images and actually our first tiny little bit of footage from the upcoming Child's Play TV series called Chucky, I believe. Um, yes, it is going to be called Chucky. We did get a release date as well. It is set to premiere on Sci-Fi and USA on October 12th, 2021, which is honestly super close. It's right around the corner. We also got a tiny little teaser trailer, and we got a couple of images, and it looks so cool. Chucky looks incredible. Like, the character design looks really good. And that actually has a lot to do with what they explained, what Don Mancini explained to Entertainment Weekly, because a lot of people, myself included, believe that Child's Play 2 Chucky is the absolute definitive look for Chucky. Like, he looks the best in that entire film. And Don Mancini was like, yeah, if that's what you want, we're actually trying to make him look as close to his Child's Play 2 version as possible. So that's going to be exciting. And they're also going to be kind of going back to the roots of Child's Play and focusing on younger characters. So again, that's supposed to release on October 12th of this year, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm definitely going to be watching this show. I can't wait for this to come out, so I'm excited. That's all I really can say. The next one we have here is some good old Ari Aster news. We do have a report that he will be producing a new horror movie for A24, and that it is going to be written by Michael R. Jackson. Now, that's pretty much all we know regarding this. The only thing we know is that it is currently untitled, and it's written by Michael R. Jackson, who is a Pulitzer Prize and New York Drama Critics Circle winning playwright. So that is a great fucking resume. So with something like that, we are in for a treat. With not only does Ari Aster believe in this project enough to produce it, just the resume of the writer of this film gives me some great hope as to what we might be getting. But anyway, our last piece of news here. As you know, by this point, all three of the Fear Street movies are on Netflix at the moment. And once they released all three of those, the amazing company Waxwork Records announced that they are going to be releasing all three soundtracks on vinyl. What's really, really cool about this is that each vinyl, they're all going to be sold in a set, but every time you open one of the vinyls regarding whichever movie it is, it has a different illustration, and they're all tributes to the covers of the original Fear Street books, which is going to be very cool. You can get the 3-record set through Waxworks through Waxwork Records for $50, which is honestly a very, very good deal on that, because normally their one vinyl, or maybe like a double vinyl, is usually like $35 or $40. So you're getting 3 for $50. Like, that's a steal. I definitely recommend jumping in on that if you get the chance, because again, not even if you don't much care for the soundtrack, just the quality and the amount of work that Waxwork puts into all of their releases is worth the price alone for me. But yeah, that's really all the big news that we had for this week. Right now, this is set to release on Sunday, so that's pretty much all I have throughout the week. But depending on how this does, I'm really excited to keep this going. I'm hoping to release a new episode every week, so that way everybody can stay updated on everything that's going on in horror. And that way, we can all talk about different things and get excited for such a great year that we're getting for horror this time. But now it is time for me to end this episode with some basic housekeeping. Obviously, this was a solo episode. My lovely co-host Vanya was not in this episode, but if you would love to follow her and learn some more about her, you can follow her on Twitter and YouTube as HHN Cultus. She posts a lot of horror-inspired makeups, HHN-related stuff, and some goth culture stuff, which is very, very cool. Definitely check her out. and definitely show some support for my lovely, lovely, amazing co-host. I love her to death. She's my bestie. And then for my personals, you can find me on Instagram at Yussef1220 and on Twitter at itbeyusef, where I post some random stuff and just idiotic things that just pop into my head because that is just me. And then you can follow our podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as Sounds from the Grave. Then we also have our podcast up on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor, and pretty much anywhere else you can get your podcasts. And then you can we also have an email. It is soundsfromthegravepodcast@gmail.com. You can always drop us a line there, let us know what you want us to talk about, or just chat with us, or ask us if you want to be on the show, because we'd love to have you on. We are a safe space for everybody. This graveyard loves every single one of you. So if you want to be on here, we'll let you be on here. So without further ado, I bid you all a good day or good night, depending on when you're listening to this. And keep it spooky, everybody. Bye.